Hello friends, how are we doing today? Sunday, June 15th, and I went for a small little walk, or run, rather like a small jogging. Actually, I went running yesterday also. Very good run, like 9.5 kilometers basically. So today I did some running earlier before I got here, you know, going through the cemetery. It was a while since I was here. Well, actually, I did run through here, some weeks ago. But yeah, I'm gonna just spend some time outside today, not necessarily go like a heavy run. And it's summertime, June, did I write June 15th? It's June 16th, I believe. And we have a lot to talk about actually. A lot. We have some stuff to talk about. It's really kind of an uncertain but enjoyable, I should say, an enjoyable time, which I should start off saying that I'm in a really good place right now, because school finished the last semester. I handed in my last paper. This is like, 2 weeks ago? A little over 2 weeks ago, yeah. I passed that course that I guess I failed at first, but that was back in April. I got that done right away, got a good score. Good, passable, but not like an E or a worst or anything like that. I think it was a C, which is for me that is a pass. If you get anything below that, it's bad. But I'm satisfied with my grade so far, and I don't really strive for getting the top grades or anything like that. I'm just satisfied to pass and feel like I learned something. But anyway, so I passed the course after that, and now I handed in the last one, like I said, and I'm waiting for the grade for that one, the last one, which should go through. And then I've had some meetings earlier, like I think it was last week. No? Yeah? Or the week before last week. Yeah, I had some meetings. And now the only downside is that I don't have a job right now. And I got some response from a job that I applied for, 2 jobs I believe I applied for in the end of, or was it like May 20th or in the end of May, whatever. I don't even bother to basically look, because they should call me if and I just saw I got some mail, but I didn't really check it, because to be honest, it's kind of depressing when they just, time after time, when you apply something that you're really qualified for, and then they don't even bother to call and ask you a few questions to like try to get to know you a little bit more. But yeah, that's just how it is, you cannot let yourself get too down, but it is hard. I'm telling you, imagine there are like 300, 400, 500 people applying for one position. And then they know someone, they're like, I know that person that know this person that could fit, and then they just throw all applications away and take that person. That's how it is. It's connections, and it's difficult. Can you imagine moving to a place where you don't know anybody, like I've been doing for a big part of my life, and always managed to stand up on my own anyway. This was not really what I was going to talk about, but it's a little insight, and it's just the fact the world is, I talked about this before, it seems like there is this kind of underlying frustration people are not really happy. People are supposed to work just like insane under very, very horrible conditions. A lot of times underpaid. You're supposed to have a career. You're supposed to have a family at whatever age, and you're supposed to have your house payments. There's a lot of these conceptions what is considered to make you, oh, you made it, or you are now you are normal, or you are all of this stuff, all of these societal conceptions basically. And I'm not having it. I just know that we have to build something and live and strive for living a life that is valuable for you, you know. That's it. Really, really smells bad here. I wonder if they've been doing something with the agriculture or the fields around here. Terrible. But what else did I want to share about? Yeah, obviously, in a great time, because I mean I've been basically waking up so early for the past 2 weeks, like seriously waking up sometimes 4:35 in the morning. When I not necessarily going up at that time. I think I go up, like today I woke up 6:30, and that is great time, I think. Get a little bit tired maybe in the afternoon, but you just take a small nap, 10 minutes, 15 minutes is all right. And now I have a lot of time to work on my things, which is what I've been doing. I work so much on my music. I can share with you that I've written 2 brand new songs that are fresh out of my system. They are nothing like old material in terms of lyrics, in terms of melody, in terms of chord progressions or anything like that. It's just very pure, and I've written them, I recorded them, I have basically mixed them. There's a few details, and I'm going to release this as a single, but 2 songs, but as a single. I guess you say single even if it's 2 songs. And yeah, I probably should share it with you. I named the single Remember When, and I kind of like it. And then also I have, hey son. Then I also have recorded, as you know, so that is a big project I'll be working on the book. Time for start doing some editing with that and doing the cover design. And then I'm doing that album, like the first thing that I ever did, basically. The experimental, let's call it experimental interpretation of poetry in a musical way. So that is very different, very maybe a bit experimental, conceptual. That is also now about to be released very soon. I'm doing the mixing on that now, and mixing, I tell you, it's very difficult. It's so much you can do. It's so much technical details. You're confused because you don't really know what you're doing. You don't have an experience from it. You know, the compression, EQ, filters or effects, and hertz, gain, increase, decrease, different layers, different textures. So I'm just going really kind of like, obviously I'm educating myself a bit along the way. I watch videos, I watch some tutorials, I'm trying to learn and adapt. But basically what I'm doing with that album, because we can call it an album, is to try to just have it recorded sounding well and learn along the way. and also making it kind of like sound, I guess sound decent, but not over mix it, you know, that some people you can hear some songs, they are just so mixed, it sounds nothing like the authenticity in the way they actually recorded it. So that's what I want to do. I want to try to give it like a holistic, you can say, and holistic sound in terms of the mixing. Not too much, not going too wild. And then next week I'm going up north. That feels good. Really, really good. It's like 10 months since I was from where I come from, basically. So yeah, that's a little bit of an update, I guess. A bit of a talk. And I was speaking to myself actually without the camera when I went running yesterday, just to really like get it out of my chest. Get it off of my chest, I guess you say. With the situation that happened, you know, when you had to inject yourself with that kind of medicine, let's call it, during 2020 and 2022, 23, whatever. You know, some people took 4 of them, 5 of them, whatever. And I will say this one time, and whoever listens, and you can agree, you can disagree. I don't really have a standpoint. I don't really have a opinion other than I will never, under any circumstances, take this injection into myself. And I'll tell you why. There are actually more and more leaks now that there were no scientific proofs that it protected you. There was no scientific proof that it actually stopped you from transmitting the disease to somebody else because you just injected yourself with this. There is no scientific proof either with a mask stopping you from receiving it and transmitting it. Although I will say, if that injection made you feel safe in terms of making the disease more mild, that I absolutely respect and I understand, and I believe that can really happen to people who have an weakened or any disease or any underlying health issue, could help you to have a mild effect from injecting this medicine, let's call it. That is all fair, all fine, I understand that. But in terms of my own being, my own, like, what should I call it, my own body, I guess, that's out of the question. I would not accept anybody to force something upon me just because, oh, you have to, it's not about yourself, you have to think about the others. Yeah, of course it's about the others, but that doesn't mean that I need to inject myself. And it's not selfish at all. I trusted my body, I trusted my, let's say, my intuition, you know, that I was going to be absolutely fine even if I had this disease. And I turned out to be absolutely fine. It was not pleasant, I will say that. But I had it like for real one time, and then I think I had it another turn, but not as very, very mild. But I just ride it through, and I was stronger than ever. And I feel now, actually, I feel stronger than ever. I feel healthier than ever. I have not lost any kind of physical or mental or any kind of capacity in my strength or health after receiving this back in. This was right It was during the invasion of Ukraine in February 2021 I received this disease, this virus, and it was bad for some 5, 6, 7 days, but yeah, mainly like a bad fever for 3 to 5 days maybe. Obviously, it was really tough for sure. A bad fever and bad flu. But now I am seriously feeling absolutely strong and fit, and you have it, you know. Anything like that is just great. So there's absolutely no way that I would, and I'm speaking just for myself, and I am absolutely for science. I am absolutely for people who feel safe to do this to themselves. I support the scientific facts if it's really right for some people to use this. But I'm speaking for myself, I'm speaking for my own being. I would never do that. And I have the right for that. There's nobody that, but it's creepy when a society start to, and that's what I feel like I'm afraid with the advanced technology coming into the future now and in the future, that you will have to comply to things, because otherwise, for example, yeah, it's not mandatory, but you should, because if you don't, you may not enter the store, or you may not have your job, and you may not get paid, or you may have problems with this or that. You know, you become like an outsider. You're inside of the society, but you are like a layer outside of it. And that is very creepy. I think what a society in a society where people ultimately are free and have the right of being free, is when the power let the people to be critical and enhance and give the people the will and the ability to think for themselves and be their own supplier to the degree they are able to. Not to make people dependent on the ruling power. Like when you have a political party that does not do anything other than protecting their superiority and protecting their own power. You know what I mean? They do anything on the behalf of its citizens to remain in power. Whether that means some people are, we have seen it in the history, you know, we have seen it in many totalitarian countries, and how creepy it is. Just think about concentration camps, because you are thinking, this is the creepy thing. It's not really necessary, it's bad also if you cannot be of another ethnic heritage, or you are look different, and they will take you away because of that. It's horrible. But I mean, the creepy thing when you cannot think, you need to think inside of a box. And if you don't do that, they take you away to a concentration camp. I found that very sad and creepy, and that is not a free society. So, what do I want to say with that? What I mean is that with advanced technology that will do the thinking for us, how are we going to be able to actually think for free? And how is this technology actually being sure it's going to be for the humanity's best, you know, for the best of its citizens? If it's being used to already, I'm really suspicious of this, to already fabricate and layer and manipulate opinions. that I find extremely serious and creepy. If we are not really able to think for ourselves, and the power is always going to say that they are right and we don't need to think for them, they can think for us. They think for the majority. Horrible outcome. And with that said, I'm gonna continue with my run, and I'll see you around. Ciao.